Good morning and welcome to another beautiful time right here to Still Sport. Of course, I told you I was returning today for some wonderful informations, not just information, the enjoyment over the weekend, the entertainment, the intrigue, the suspense. I tell you the truth, some persons were disappointed. Manchester United, that we were thinking we're going to have so many goals coming into the net of Fulham, just had one goal and other chances were missed over the weekend. Then come to talk about Chelsea. Well, Chelsea was so disappointing because I don't know how that actually happened, but then a lot of people have come out to complain to say, well, Chelsea have not started yet. Maybe they are waiting for time before they can actually come up. What about Arsenal? Well, we'll look at the games that were played over the weekend, especially from the Premier League and other leagues around the world. My name is Ramsey Enoch, MC Ramsey, of course, with Jesse number 10. And of course, Michael is down in Jesse number 7 right here this morning for Manchester United. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
How was the weekend?
Splendid. Thank God it's a new week.
Manchester United.
That's also.
That's where we're starting from because that's your club. That's where we're starting from. How was it for you, Manchester United? But before then, let me just roll through the result of the matches that were played over the weekend. Manchester United defeated Fulham 1-0, and it was a very wonderful game. Then this was another wonderful game again as Liverpool actually took the day. I was actually excited for Liverpool, but then some person said, well, it wasn't a competitive match. But then I don't know. Again, this is Premier League we're talking about right here. Then Arsenal defeating Wolves 2-0. It was a very, very fantastic game right there. You saw the performance of the player. Saka was on top of his game. And of course, moving away from there, let's get to what happened between Everton and Brighton. Everton, of course, lost to Brighton. And I wonder how that happened. 3 beautiful goals. Someone was saying, he said, well, this is no time to take any game for granted at all because the goals are going to count because sometimes the goal difference may be what is going to make the difference. You know, goal difference making difference. That's Everton and, of course, Britain. Then moving away, other matches that were played on August 17, Newcastle defeating Southampton. Then Nottingham Forest actually drew their game with Bournemouth. That was 1-1. That is a very wonderful game. That game was a very competitive one, but it ended that way, and a lot of people never saw it coming. But then, this is Premier League for you. Anything is possible. While West Ham actually lost to Aston Villa, 2-1 was how that game ended. Well, they thought they were going to equalize, but then the struggle couldn't make it happen for them. What about Brentford and Crystal Palace? Of course, it was a wonderful one for Brentford as they defeated Crystal Palace 2-1 in that game over the weekend. Then Chelsea, of course, losing woefully. Well, that's a humiliation, of course. But then if you look at Manchester City, they are not a club to joke with at all. Well, I don't know, but then I think it was a very beautiful day for Haaland. And I would like to say a very big congratulations to Manchester City. Chelsea is yet to wake up. Probably the struggle and the bid to bring in Osimhen is one thing that is keeping them behind. But then that is not it at all. They lost that game woefully. Then Leicester City and Tottenham Hotspur will be holding it down today. Well, that game is going to be coming on later today. 9 p.m. is when that game is going to be happening. That's the only game from the Premier League today. Then moving away from there, we can also look at 1 or 2 games that were played over the weekend too. But then not from England anymore. Let's just get to other games that were played over the weekend. Of course, let me quickly look at this one from where am I looking at right now? Let me look at the La Liga game. Of course, the La Liga game, Celta Vigo defeating Alaves 2-1. Then Las Palmas and Sevilla actually draw their games. That game ended 2-2. Then moving away from there, from the Liga games that were played on Saturday, let me actually inform you that already for Premier League, it's been taken already. Let me just let you know that League One, Monaco Monaco and Saint-Antin. Monaco actually took the day, and it was just 1-0. It is not just because 3 points have actually gone in for them. Moving away from there, let's move to other games that were played over the weekend too. This one is a very long one. I may not be able to take all for League One games. Huddersfield and Stevenage 2-1 in favor of Huddersfield. Then a lot of other games were played there. You can actually know that this matches have actually returned in a very, very powerful way. In Italian Serie A, from Italy, we cannot talk about things happening in Spain, talking about the La Liga, talking about England, talking about the Premier League. Then we don't talk about what happened from the Italian Serie A all the way from Italy, where Parma actually drew with Fiorentina 1-1. Then Genoa and Inter Milan 2-2. Then AC Milan and Torino 2-2. Most of the games that were played from Italy was actually drawn. That was a very beautiful one, sharing the points. Maybe they were in love with themselves. I don't know, but that's what I just have to say. But then finally, of course, let me look at what happened from Germany, of course, from the German Bundesliga. Well, let's leave Bundesliga right now and talk about the La Liga, where Osasuna and CD Legends drew their game. Then Valencia lost to FC Barcelona. That is from the La Liga. Then yesterday it was also a very sweet and beautiful one again. But then I'll just let you to know that all this game are right there for you. We cannot give you all the result of the matches that were played over the weekend because the games were so much. But then you need to know that Bologna, Udinese drew their game. Then Lazio and Venezia, Lazio took the day. 3-1 was how that game actually ended. Then as a matter of fact, from the La Liga again for yesterday, it was Real Sociedad and Rayo Vallecano, and of course it was in favor of Rayo as they defeated Real Sociedad 2-1. Then finally Mallorca and Real Madrid. Well, I don't know, but then some person said they didn't see the best of Kylian Mbappe yet, but then his best is yet to come. It's too early to have judged him in these games that were played over the weekend, as they actually drew that game as a matter of fact with Mallorca. Well, these are the matches that were played over the weekend. These are results of the matches, but I've then told you of the match that will be going down today from the EPL, and we'll talk about that much later. But then let me just move the microphone a little bit to the man donning jersey number 7 for Manchester United. Probably he's going to tell us why Manchester United didn't score Fulham many goals like he actually predicted, and of course it was 1-0 and 3 points have actually gone. But then what about the goal differences? Then it's too early, if you ask me, to blame any of these clubs that actually played the game over the weekend. This is a return to the various leagues around the world. Over to you, Michael. Let's hear from you what you think. Not just Manchester United this time. Let's actually think of what you think about all the matches that were played over the weekend. Which one actually caught your fancy? Which one was of interest to you? Were there any disappointment? Were there any complaint coming from you? The excitement, excitement, disappointment, intrigue, the suspense, everything mixed together, and that's what makes it a game. So over to you, Michael, in just a few minutes before we start wrapping up.
I think all the games were interesting over the weekend. The curtain raiser was Man United Fulham. Remember, Fulham is not a team to write off any time, and they gave the big six clubs headache last season, and then they did some signings. Even though William has left after his contract expired, he's not a free agent. That's William, former Chelsea winger, is left. But then they have all these threats in front. That front three is on fire. So particularly, it was a good game. Manchester United would have, scored a second goal. Alejandro Garnacho had an open net chance to make it double. Like I said, it's a fresh season. Goal difference actually makes a difference at the end of the season. Score as many goals as you can while you have a chance. But then that chance lost. I particularly was also interested in Man City with Chelsea. But then I didn't have the time to watch it. I saw the highlight. Erling Haaland scoring his 91st goal, 91 goal in 100 appearances. He marked his 100th appearance for Manchester
Yeah,
City.
for Manchester City.
Since,
That was very outstanding.
since he came from Borussia Dortmund, and he's been outstanding. 100 games, 91 goal, prolific, unprecedented.
Prolific.
And that's the kind of striker you talk about. Bringing a clinical striker, he gives you goals. His eyes are for goals. I particularly watched also the interview before the La Liga started. I watched the interview of Lewandowski. He said, "I'm a striker. My aim is to score," and he ended up scoring in their opening game also. As Madrid won in the opening game also. They won Valencia, I think so. 2-2. They won 2-1. I think that is what striker is about. Get a clinical striker that does the things for you. I saw what happened in Arsenal. Arsenal with
Playing with
Wolves. It was very, very interactive because of course
And
Wolves,
they defeated Wolves 2-0.
yeah, Wolves have formidable defense, but of course the wingers are pretty fast. Martinelli and Saka scored and did an assist, and then he was reportedly by his coach Arteta. Arteta is saying, hey, he's building himself to a world-class goal scorer. Talk about consistency of last 2 seasons and also starting the season with a goal and an assist. So shout out to Saka on that one. Also, Everton. I practically thought Everton we give Brighton headache, but then Brighton had it all. 3-0. I mean, it was something else. But then Nottingham Forest bottom out. Still made draw. And the other games that happened, of course, that Aston Villa defeated West Ham 2-1. I'm seeing Aston Villa as, of course, they are playing Champions League this season. I'm seeing them as a bit, they're going to lead that top 4 and start coming to top 3 and top 2 because they started well. Last season, they did excellently well. That's why they were able to end in a top 4 finish. They're playing Champions League football this year. Today's game will be a cracker. Leicester, Tottenham will be a cracker because, of course, Leicester and Tottenham is always, and Postecoglou is aiming to have his first silverware with Tottenham. So let's see how that game pans out today, 8 p.m.
All right, thank you very much. Let's see how that game pans out today. 8 p.m. is the time. But then I think, I don't know, but then that match is going to be a very, very tough game. Let's go watch the match, and we'll return on Wednesday to bring you more details from there. And it will also interest you to know that preparation is on for the Nigeria Professional Football League. Lobby Stars moved yesterday to the north for their preseason games as they travel all the way from Benue State yesterday. Despite what's happening in Benue State, they are still on. And of course, the meeting of the sport directors with the governor of Benue State and the preseason going on for Lobby Stars and other clubs in the Nigeria Professional Football League is so a pointer. It's so much of a pointer to the fact that the coming season is going to be very, very prolific in the Nigeria Professional Football League, even though a lot of Nigerians don't take out time to watch that. Then I'll also let you know that, of course, gradually, I think Samson Siasia may be returning to his coaching career any moment because the ban is already somehow trying to be lifted for him. Remember, he's been slammed with a ban from FIFA. I think that ban is about going off. Are we trying to say Samson Siasia may be the next coach of the Super Eagles? No one is saying that. The Super Eagles are still coachless.
Right now.
They are coachless.
And over the weekend,
George left.
Over the weekend, there are rumors linking
Samson Siasia,
saying he is the most suited candidate for that post.
That's if we are not going for a foreign coach because the Nigerian, the NFF, Football Federation, Nigeria Football Federation, and the Sport Ministry sometimes they just disappoint Nigerians and go for a foreign coach. But then I don't know what's going to happen this time. Then the Super Falcons too. Wadrom is still there, and of course he is doing very well. Then Wakama, who actually won the best coach from the Olympic, and every other coach in Nigeria and everything happening from the world of sport. You get the details on Sport Rush. And I'm going to be taking the leave right now with Michael. We are leaving right now, Michael. Thank you for coming. Yes, and I think your jersey number 7 is actually working because you were able to play through the matches that were played over the weekend. You were able to roll the ball in between the game, and you gave us a very concise analysis. Then we'll return again, and that's going to be on Wednesday when we bring you report from the midweek sport. My name is MC Ramsey with jersey number 10. Bye-bye for now, and have a wonderful week ahead of you.